Hello. Welcome to an intimate time. You're so used to so many faces on this screen, and now so few. Yes, only 3 faces we find here tonight of 3 2 adventurers. One, what would you describe me as? Humble.
Not that.
Humble. One humble man here to lead you through an adventure this evening.
I would not use any of those words except for maybe one.
Okay. Well, welcome to the one-shot Kingpins of Kyrthys. Oh, we have a time set for you this evening. A time of life and death and enemies and lovers and enemies who are lovers and lovers who are enemies. I am so excited to be bringing you into the folds tonight. So, oh my gosh. So first and foremost, hi to everyone in chat. Hi, Lyrica. Thanks for being here. Obviously, hi and incredible thank you to our moderator team who has also joined us here this evening. Shout out to Liza, our head mod. And then there's a lot of good faces that I've been missing that I'm excited to see in here again. Cry, incredible to see you. Lix, great to see you. Saw that you refollowed. It's fine. Cataclysmic, love. I love to see you all here. I'm sorry, I'm gesturing with my Red Bull can. We are not sponsored. All right, it's good to see everybody. Hi. It's so good to get back in here. We are going a little bit back in time today to just, a few days in the past, and we're going to a place where we miss so much. Didn't you miss this place, Samantha? Didn't you miss Kyrthys?
I think I missed Kyrthys because I think Kyrthys is really cool.
Yeah.
And we obviously didn't spend any time there. Brine doesn't miss Kyrthys. So if I was playing Brine, it would be a different vibe. You know what I mean? But I'm not playing Brine tonight. I'm playing Julian, who's never left Kyrthys. So I also don't think that he misses Kyrthys because he lives there. Do you get it? Do you see what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have a very unique experience here tonight, as there's nothing for you to miss, Julian, as you have not been here before, but yet you've been here always.
Mm-hmm.
Julian, for those of you who do not know, is our behind-the-scenes head producer. What is your official title? Do we know?
Jack of all trades.
Technically, that's my, task to give you the title. I guess if anyone would be here is what it is, it would be me.
Now realizing that I've not done biography says producer at Death2Divinity.
Yeah, but head producer.
He's head producer, one of the head mods.
Oh.
Does all of our YouTube content, helps with our social media. Apparently we can't hear Julian.
Julian, we can't hear you. Can't hear the secrets that you're telling. And you've said 3 campaign spoilers already.
At least 3.
At least 3.
Spoilers.
I mean, you were talking about how Chade is a cyborg, and that I've been waiting to reveal that one.
That's gonna haunt me in my nightmares.
Cyborg Chade?
Yeah.
Chade?
I don't like that.
Borg Chade. Borg Chade!
Not Borg Chade.
Oh, I love you, Borg Chade.
I'm leaving.
Oh, man. Well,
actually, Julian's dying right now. Peace.
Oh, no. You must suffer through living for much longer than that tonight, Mantha. So we are heading back into Kyrthys today with Julian, who will introduce himself in just a moment. But until then, I want to tell you a bit about a little reminder of what has happened and where we are going. So we are. Hi, Nico. Welcome. I love to see Cast in chat. I'm gonna freak them out tonight. It's gonna be fine. Tasty, exciting. So we are heading back to Kyrthys, which you will recall is where we were in season 1. At the very, very beginning, the floating city in the sky. This is, of course, led by the royal Osyarov family, the much beloved Nod, the much beloved royal family, who has ruled peacefully since Kyrthys's inception. Now, there is another ruling faction of the city in the sky, and I suppose we should maybe talk about it. And that, of course, would be the religious faction, the Arcane, which is formed by four separate houses, if you will, that make up the whole. Now, these are the religious leaders who help interpret for the masses of Kyrthys divine intent. Now, what is divine intent, you ask? Thank you for asking. Well, that can be gathered through a myriad of things, whether it be religious texts, star symbols, lots of different things. And it is the Arcanon's job, prophecies even, it is the Arcanon's job to interpret and have the people of Kyrthys act on those tasks. Now, the four branches of the Arcanon are Valara, which stands for astronomy and healing, Valix, which stands for magic and engineering, Valkar, which is economy and infrastructure, and Valxor, which is law and war. These are all important things, all represented by different factions. What's your favorite faction, Mantha?
My favorite faction or Julian's favorite faction?
Yours. We're not talking about who you're playing yet.
God, I hate the classism in Kyrthys, if I'm honest. So any faction that is like in any way dedicated to undermining the royal family is who I am most interested in.
Okay.
Which I don't think is any of the ones that you just named.
No.
So unfortunately, none of them.
Okay. Wow, thanks. That's great.
That was really helpful.
That was really great. That was really wonderful. Thank you.
But yeah, my favorite faction is the Weeds.
Okay, we get it. You love the Weeds. Weeds never die, etc., etc. So we have. So obviously we are back there in Kyrthys. 4 branches. I'm just trying to remember everyone what was going on so long ago, almost a year ago now. We've been doing this dang show for almost a year, so I'm trying to have everyone peacefully remember what was going on 1 year ago.
I don't know what peace looks like. I'm sorry. If you wanted peace, you should have asked a different cast member to play Julian.
Neither do your player characters. It's fine. So. We've got, of course, those 4 factions, branches of the Arcanon are led by 4 Hierophants. Now, Mantha, you tell me, what's a Hierophant?
They're like religious leaders, but they're not. They're like priests. Yeah, they're not the Pope. I don't know anything about anything.
Yeah, woof.
I grew up in a really religious household, but they're basically like religious leaders.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are the preacher popes, as we would call them, as not exposed to religion as children.
Perfect.
Preacher popes. They are the religious leaders. Of course, one of those is Alan Osmond, who is Gideon's adoptive, not quite parent, but the person who took Gideon in after their parents passed, attempting to endeavor into the wilds. We've got Hierophant Monty Simrel, who deals in Valkar, which is the money and infrastructure. You know nothing about him except for that he deals with money. And that's all you've learned so far.
He's vibing.
And then you've got the head of law and war, Hierophant Phenomeno. We love her. She loves law. She loves war. We love that. And then there, of course, is the other Hierophant that you have had the most dealings with, and that is, of course, Hierophant Yvonne Toten, who is the head of Valara, of course, dealing with astronomy and healing. Now, tell me, have the players in the other campaign quite sleuthed out what the big deal with that Hierophant is?
With which one? I'm so sorry.
Hierophant Yvonne Toten.
I believe some of them have figured it out, right? At least some of them. Like a handful.
I think all of you.
Yeah, no, we
Okay,
all
I was about to say I was like,
You were like, did I miss something? No, we all know that Hierophant Yvonne is actually a vessel for the god Discords, which is worrisome and frightening because anytime that we've spoken to Yvonne since leaving Kyrthys, she's done some kind of violence to Alan, and then teased Gideon about it. And then she also took in a monster.
Yes, that would be Ivy, Monster
right.
14. You would be correct. Yes, so that is, remember, the overarching authority figure. Oh, sorry, I forgot the other important authority figures. My bad. That's Queen Nakata, the actual queen of Kyrthys, and of course, her partner, Monarch Renat. So those are the two current rulers, and their time's ending, because why were our heroes of the main campaign even set off in the first place? Why, that is because they were sent on a quest. Yes, one of 3 ships sent out. Please don't. It's fine. I'm in a gesturing mood, and all I have is my eyebrow. I guess I could use a mirror, but then it looks like I'm chalking into a microphone. So I'm going to go back to looking like I'm doing a little PowerPoint. Julian, can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
I don't know. Chat, tell us.
Can we hear Julian?
Hello.
It's so good to see Nico in chat. It's like the old days. That feels so weird.
Not the old days.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic.
Oh, great to hear Julian. Perfect.
Julian's our
All
boy.
right, then I can start talking about the young monarchs, can't I? Oh boy. So, Queen Nakata and Monarch Renat had 3 children, all triplets, who are 24 years of age. Now, it is said when a child becomes 25, they ascend to the throne. Problem being, there's 3 of them to pick between this time. And the Arcane had a pretty good idea of how to solve that. Why, of course, we're going to send them. We're going to send parties of people into the wilds to try and help us sleuth out the foretold prophecy that could tell of Kyrthys' return to the surface. That party, representing a young monarch, if you will, if they returned successful, would then, through championship, almost ascendancy, if you will. Love that. Love a parallel. I say the one making the parallel is the one who obviously gets to rule. So
imagine if you were, hypothetically speaking, also a player in the main campaign.
Yeah.
And you cared about that prophecy.
I can't imagine that happening.
Imagine considering the implications of that prophecy at literally any point.
I can't imagine it.
Since you uncovered it.
No, I can't. I can't imagine it at all.
I don't know.
Anyways, Julian, I'm so excited to have you here. From what I can tell, with your Julian, this is why I'm very happy to have you, because you have proven yourself. Your writings in the catacombs have been unreal. You have been sleuthing. You have been going for things. You have been producing incredibly, and I can only assume that this is all going to culminate into being the best D&D player of all time. I'm so excited to have you here. Oh my gosh. So for people who do not know you, will you go ahead and tell everybody a bit about yourself, where they can find you?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. If you don't know me, I'm Juliancito. You can find me Twitch, Twitter, pretty much any social media as _Juliancito. I am not currently streaming right now, but you can find me every Saturday here producing Death2Divinity.
That's great. Thank you for coming here every Saturday. That's so many Saturdays. That's a lot.
You know what?
Oh my gosh. I'm glad that we have you center stage for some of it, at least. And so speaking of center stage, you are playing someone who has been very center stage his whole life. You are playing tonight the middle sibling of the young monarchs. That is none other than Prince Kalen Osirov. Do you want to tell us a bit about him?
Yeah, so Kalen is of all the siblings, he is the least religious, the most kind of casual, go with the flow kind of kid. He is also trans. He is a bard, and his primary instruments are voice and percussion.
Voice and percussion. So, you brought props. I love a
did.
prop.
Oh, are those purple tipped? Wait.
I've had these since like middle school, and I used to color on my drumsticks. So yes,
My heart.
You've had this prop since middle school.
I have.
This
indeed.
this means the world. This is. Oh, I'm keeping up. Truly, I'm so excited. All right, so you have props, you have drumsticks. This is Kaylin. I'm very excited to learn more about, but we gotta head over here and learn about the other person who will be playing tonight, and that's Misha. No, not quite. You are playing the person, which reminds me, I should probably make you a little Misha like token to be. Or else people are going to look at you and think that you're Julie in multiverse.
We can't just have suspension of disbelief. We can't just like no.
I think maybe chat could do that. Chat, let me know how you're at suspension of disbelief.
Chat, do you need a Misha Asirov token?
Wait,
Come on. Do you
Yes
really
or
think
no?
they're gonna say no?
Yeah, I'll
The
start
people
with
do
it.
miss Misha Asirov. Most of the people anyway.
Yeah, some of the people in chat love Misha Asirov. Oh my god, imagine wanting to see Misha. Oh wow. Okay. Some grudges never die. So yeah, you are going to be playing Julian, who we met for all of one scene last
It's like
season.
3 lines.
Yeah.
So when we were preparing for this one shot, Katie May was like, you need to go back and like do a scene study because like Julian has that whole conversation with Gideon. And in my head, I was like, yeah, I remember them having like an intense like back and forth moment at the brunch table before everybody left for the wilds. No, it's like a 3-line piece of dialogue. Like Gideon pours Julian a mimosa and is like, hey, I'm glad you're here. And Julian's like, yeah, cool, me too. And then Gideon's like, well, like, how are you? And Julian says something like, well, you know, it's not every day I throw my life away in an hour, but it's fine. That's it.
Great
Okay,
conversation.
I'm glad I've set you up so impeccably. Honestly, you're welcome. So besides what you knew about them, will you tell us a bit about dear Julian?
Sure. So Julian Centurion is a student of Alan Osmond's, a protege, if you will. And he is an expert in the wilds, and in like the fae culture of the wilds. And his class, so we're going on a little bit of a journey. I think most people, when they think of Julian, they think of like a wilds expert, their brain is going to go, oh, that person's obviously a scholar. Like that person is obviously a magic user who like specializes in studiousness. No, he's an artificer. So he's constantly tinkering with things. So one of Julian's favorite things, we love a stim. One of Julian's favorite things to do is like fix things and or attempt to improve them. And so I think had he had the opportunity to actually go into the wilds with the rest of the party, that could have been cool to see because he would have been constantly trying to like mess around with the things that were happening both on the ship and in the wilds themselves. So I think that's really fun. But he's a little bit broody. He's sort of got that like hot tutor you want to fuck vibe going on. I know that I am not embodying that right now, but Julian definitely does. So just suspension of disbelief. It's fine. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I've got. I don't know that I have anything else. And I mean, he's fairly devout. I think he believes in Alan more than he believes in like the power of the Arcane on itself. And I think that's because he sees the way that Alan gets treated. and the way that Gideon gets treated by extension. But I wouldn't call him non-religious, if that makes sense.
That does make sense to me. Who's your favorite god?
Favorite god? So I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think his favorite god is actually Meter, which I know feels like a cop-out because of Brine. But after like looking at them all, that feels the most in line with like what Julian wants to see in the world and like the legacy that he would want to leave behind. So that's where we're at.
Okay. Shout out to Die Hard Dice, our season sponsors. Oh, thank you for being our season sponsors, Die Hard Dice. Incredible dice company, make the most beautiful dice in the universe. And they are partnering with us for the last season and this season. We love them so much. We love the dice that you guys have shown us from all the dice that you've either won or bought. Thank you so much for supporting us through that. That's so cool. As we head back into Akramon in the height of its, let's call it her anxious era. We have had, nearly 20 of Kyrthys's finest leave Kyrthys, which is a pretty unprecedented activity. I mean, God, the last time it happened, it was a group of maybe 7. And everyone except one person died on that, right? And so it's been a moment.
Rest in peace, Osmond family.
Well, rest in peace, Osmond family. And oh boy, howdy, people in power feel the anxious era the most. I mean, God, if you were detached from politics like this, maybe if you were in the weeds, you'd just be missing Winona a little. But you both are in the center of the hornet's nest. You all are trying your best to survive in what I would like to call the anxious era of Kyrthys. When you hear word back, you will know who rules. There is a held breath of anticipation for that moment. It's like we're in the UK and it's the summer and Love Island is airing. It's exactly like that. Now, I think I would like to come over to Julian first, because I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So, you are fully Hannah Montana right now. You have left Miley Cyrus behind.
Why can't it be Lizzie McGuire?
You want to be Lizzie McGuire and what's her face?
Yeah. Strictly because I've never watched Hannah Montana.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Nobody's perfect. I've got to work it again and again until I get it right. All right. So, you are Hannah Montana. I will take it back. So you are Hannah Montana right now. You have left your entire identity behind based on the ask of one Misha Osirov to switch places with you. Of course, Misha had pitched it to you as their path of atonement. This was their one chance at giving back to the people who Misha had just felt that they had sent to die. Getting a shot at love. I'll just say that. And experiencing what life is without the crown. And you said yes to that. Can you talk to me a bit about why?
So I think insofar as Julian is an expert in the wilds and has sort of been training his whole life to go, like, to leave Kyrthys and to go down into this wild fey country and to sort of take his studies and make them practical as opposed to just academic. There was also a little bit of fear, I think. And he also had someone on Kyrthys who was keeping him tied there, who was incredibly, incredibly upset at the idea of Julian putting his life at risk by getting on this ship and going into the wilds. So we've talked a little bit about how like the monarchy knew about this expedition months in advance of any of the party members who were chosen, including the actual chosen ones. And that includes Julian, because Alan warned him and said, hey, this is happening. It's very likely you'll be sent on one of these ships. So that's something that you should be prepared for. And when Julian told the person that he cares about this, it created a lot of really nasty tension between them. And so I think the thing that appealed to him most in Misha's like argument for why they wanted to get on the ship was honestly when Misha was like, you know, I have to follow Gideon into the wilds. Like, I have to go. Because I think Julian was kind of like, okay, that means that I can stay with my person and feel less guilty about it. Even though obviously taking the face of a royal complicates things.
How do you feel it complicates things? Pray tell.
I mean, in some ways we're going to have to find out. And I think in other ways, like actively choosing to trade bodies or to trade like lives and identities with one of the potential future rulers of the floating city in Ackerman is like very daunting and can definitely create complications in and of itself.
Oh, I think maybe I wouldn't use the word daunting. I think perhaps maybe I would gravitate towards the word sacrilegious.
Probably also that, huh?
Well, because Julian, when they were of age, they took upon themselves the Declaration of Magical Intent, which is a binding edict that all magic users in Kyrthys take on when they come of age. And, well, it's really, you know, if you take a look at it, if you really look at the three rules, one, of course, no actions may interfere with the natural laws of that of the past, future, or any intent besides the present. You're pretty good there. You're not time traveling. The rule number two, though, no actions may interfere with Kyrthys's economic intent, the royal's heart, the divine's will, or the arcanon's jurisdiction. Which one of those do you think you maybe fall under?
Probably at the very least the arcanon's jurisdiction, eh?
Maybe. So yeah, you've certainly taken on a considerable amount of risk associated with this task, which I would guess is why you told no one it was happening.
Yeah, I think that would be a significant factor. And I think also he knew that switching places with Misha was going to put Misha into a significant amount of danger, and revealing that to somebody would potentially cause harm. So that doesn't make sense to him.
So then I guess my biggest question is you've made a rather isolating decision, one that completely cuts you off from your past life, plunges you into a life of secrecy, and upholding the biggest lie, correct me if I'm wrong, you've ever told. So you are about
perhaps tied for biggest lie he's ever told.
Okay, can't wait to find out what the other lie is. That was not stressful for me to hear.
I would say at the very least it is tied for biggest secret he's ever kept.
Okay, great, perfect. Not concerning for me at all. You are several days, nearly a fortnight into this lie. You are sleeping in Misha Osirov's bed. You are waking up in Misha Osirov's bed. You have started responding to their name. You haven't heard the name Julian in a really long time.
That's not true.
It's not true. You're right. We can talk about that later. But
I heard it at least once the day that I switched places with Misha. Probably more than that.
well, we can talk about that later, Slow Burn. For now, what I want to ask you is waking up in the castle, I guess like a young child's dream, right? You're suddenly royalty. What was your game plan going into keeping this lie alive? What kind of routine have you tried to establish? Is this a complicated question? Yes. Do I think you can handle it? Also, yes.
Katie May was like, we're going to establish some world building during the episode tonight. It's going to be fine. So I think Julian has been relatively close to the Osterov children, in the sense that like he's a little bit older than them, a few years older than them, but you know, he is obviously a protege of Alan's, so he works really closely with the Hierophants. He works really closely with the Arcanon. The Arcanon obviously has a very close relationship with the Crown, classified however you may want to classify that. I think he is, in his mind, very familiar with the ins and outs of a general daily routine for one of the Osterov siblings. And I think that also prior to like the actual magic ritual that they performed using the Arcanic deck card to trade places and to disguise themselves, Misha probably gave Julian, a quick rundown of like, here's what I would do day to day. Like, here's what my week looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that Julian has a very fast, sharp memory. So he commits things to memory really quickly. And so I think he was able to take in what Misha told him and be like, okay, I've got it. Like, let's go. And so I think in his mind, as long as he sticks to Misha's routine, reacts appropriately to any news coming from the wilds, and stays away from the person that he cares about, it'll be fine. The problem is that it is very difficult for him to follow through on at least one component of that very vague plan.
Right. And your first big test was actually last night. There was a royal function.
How many days are we in? I'm sorry.
Almost a fortnight.
So 2 weeks. Okay.
Sure. The plot amount of correct amount of days, which we said we were going to figure out, and then we didn't.
Like, we did our best.
All right, we'll figure it out during break. So
I think one of our, actually, real quick, I think one of our actual, like, things that we're going to do between seasons 2 and 3 is lay out a specific timeline. We'll make it real pretty. That sounds really daunting, I know, but it's going to be great. We'll make a really beautiful timeline that actually explains when things happened, because we've kind of just been flowing. But yeah.
Okay. No, we have a timeline, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, but
She's
that's
just a little. We just kind of forgot about
for
her.
The campaign.
It's fine.
Okay, anyway, carry on.
So imagine having a DM with time blindness. Anyways, so we continue. So you had your first really big test last night, which was attending a ball.
That's still happening, even though, okay.
Yes, it is.
Here.
Yeah, well, so this ball is happening. And why is it happening, you ask? Why, it's your parents' anniversary. Your parents' marriage anniversary was last night, and you had to go to the ball. You had to because you were the children of the married couple. So, in attending a function like this, a room full of people who could catch you in a lie in an instant, what was the strategy?
Get exceptionally drunk and blame it on heartache.
Get exceptionally drunk and blame it on heartache. Did you pretend to be drunk, or did you get actually blasted?
I think he pretended.
Okay. So can I get a deception roll from you?
Absolutely. Okay, first roll of the one shot.
All
Let's
deception
go.
checks from you are going to be at advantage because you are currently using an Arcanic deck card that allows you to do a perfect interpretation of Misha Asarov.
Okay, deception
Yes.
with advantage.
Yes.
Deception roll number 1. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm so sorry. Okay,
A 12.
first one is a 12.
All right.
Second one is something else. The second one is a 5.
Okay, so you've gotten a 12.
Yes.
I will write that down.
I'm so scared.
So, I will be now assigning 1 suspicion point to you. Now, this suspicion points can be attributed into one of 3 categories. Are you ready to hear the categories?
Uh-huh.
All right. Your 3 categories are family, citizens, and the Arcane. If you hit above 3 suspicion points in any of these categories, they will find out that you are not Misha Asarov. Where are you assigning your first suspicion point?
Family.
All right, so this, to clarify, means Zara, Renat, and Queen Nakata.
Not Kaylin.
Well, slow burn indeed. All right, so at the family function, you did garner 1 suspicion point. And do you have an idea for how you did it, or do you want me to figure out how you fucked that up?
Misha has always struck me as a relatively private person when it comes to talking about things.
Yes.
And so I think Julian's inclination of being like, oh, if they got drunk, they would be messy about this, was maybe just a little bit off the mark, because I don't know that Misha would have ever admitted to feeling heartache.
Perfect.
And so I think that was just enough to make the rest of the Asarov family go, that's odd.
Right. Oh, it must be serious, which I'm sure won't have any implications at all. So
I've never heard of an implication in my life. I don't know. I don't know her.
Leave those to me. So with that, I'm going to pause right there. Oh, thank you, suspicion point number 1 for $20. Yes, Chaos is still alive and active tonight. $250, and I got some fucked up shit ready. Some nights I have them prepared. Some nights I do not. I know exactly what the chaoses are tonight. Anyways, so Kaylin, how have you been reacting to this new phase of your life, this sort of in-between phase of, well, you're not quite a prince, you're not quite a king. Oh God, at the end of this, you could actually be king, which is something that you never thought in your wildest dreams would actually come to fruition. You have sent away Kiara Lockley, one of your closest confidants, to go on this trip. How have you been adjusting to that new life?
Well, I take a lot of time to really think about things. I'm not really a huge fan of the Arcane. I'm not really a huge fan of how Kyrthys has just been over the last 100 so years. And I would really like things to change. So, I think that if I had to choose, like if I were to choose one of us to be a ruler, I would choose Misha, as I think that they are more reliable, and also I like them better than Zara, because Zara's a pain in the butt.
Right, of course.
But if it happens that Key comes back with this prophecy and I end up being ruler, I think I'm actually a little bit excited because it means I would be able to bring about a lot of change.
Ah, there you go. So a little hopeful.
Yes.
Now, I am going to spill a bit of the tea here. How did that hopefulness change when you realized that Misha Osurov was no longer on Kyrthys?
Yeah, that was tough. So, ships take off, and I'm assuming everybody's in their place. I had certain feelings about some people going, and then I met up with Misha at some point after the ships had left, and immediately realized this was not Misha. Misha did not have their royal insignia ring, and so that was an easy tell. And I just had a very close connection to Misha, and I just knew. I knew right away that this was not Misha.
Right. And so you obviously have not told anyone, and you have helped, let's say, keep this secret. And we obviously can explore that a bit more later. My only question for you right now, however, is how did you react last night at the anniversary ball when Misha started acting unfamiliarly strange? Did you intervene at all?
Yes. And I wanted to make sure that they would be able to continue with this cover, because I don't want it to get out that Misha is not really here. It would be dangerous for Misha. It's dangerous for a lot of reasons. And so what I ended up doing was pulling Misha aside and just kind of giving them a little tip of being like, hey, this isn't like normal behavior for Misha. You might want to like rein it in a little bit. But it was done in an area where, like, you know, nobody would have really seen us interacting, but yeah.
So then let's go ahead and have you give me a persuasion check, just so you can tell me how well you coached Julian into this role.
Imagine knowing how to do this. Okay, wait, hold on.
I feel so bad. Normally, players' first nights in Multiverse aren't aired to everyone. So I have some hype for Julian, for Julian and chat. I'm going to do it all night. It's going to ruin my life. I did it to myself, which is the problem.
Also hype for Multiverse, though, because even though it's currently in like early stages and so there are bugs, this platform is so fucking cool, and the stuff that you can do in this platform is so cool, and it's just been really fun to stream with Multiverse.
So because my character sheet did not put in my persuasion at 11, I'm just going to add the modifier of 4.
Please.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, all right.
Perfect. So that is
a 30.
Okay, so you did a phenomenal job on the coach. Okay, you really did great, which means that I now get to introduce Accomplice Points. Now,
Accomplice Points.
Prince Kalen, you may choose to erase that single suspicion point that was placed underneath family. However, I will add 1 point to your accomplice tracker. And if Julian gets caught and your accomplice tracker is above a 4, you will be held as an accomplice in this. So you can say, leave that family point. I'll save this for when I need it. Or you can say, no, remove that. I'll take an accomplice point.
And they get up to 3 in each category, right?
Yes.
All right, we'll leave it for now.
Okay, leave the point. I love that. Suffer. All right, so after the coaching, I will ask either of you, did you talk at all the rest of the night after that brief coaching moment?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. And how, after Caitlin left, how did you take being coached like that?
I think he was grumpy about it.
Grumpy.
And I think it just kind of went off and like brooded a little bit, which was probably more Misha-like than his original plan.
Yeah, literally, you started acting sullen in a corner, and the family was like, oh, okay, they're back to normal. Nobody worry. False alarm. Which is why you only have 1 suspicion point tonight. So, with that, we now know about accomplice points and suspicion points, so you guys are familiar with that now.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that it is the morning after this ball. You each are in your respective rooms, which are all in the same wing of the castle. Of course, the Osirov castle, I don't know if you remember, but of the royal Osirov family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, the magic warding on this wing is immaculate. Julian, you've never felt safer than being here. You are headlong into this scheme. But I want to visit Kaylin first. Kaylin, tell me a bit about your morning routine the morning after this anniversary party.
I probably slept in.
Okay.
Just kind of took my time getting up. Walked around a little bit, probably in the gardens, just kind of taking my time to think, clear my head. Maybe went back to my room and composed a song to get my feelings out.
You composed a song.
I very briefly forgot that you were a bard, and I was like, what?
A song.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I love that. Can I just get a performance check for you so I can just check in with how your song's coming along? Could be the greatest song of all time if you roll like you rolled before.
Not. It is a 7.
Oh no! Oh no!
You're just so distraught that your art is suffering. I hate that for you.
It is.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a 7 is like also like distraught, but maybe not. Well, thank you for the weekly offering to me. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's nice. I've never gotten a weekly offering before. Great. So we not only is it not great, it may be a little too like if Frank Ocean was 2 in his feelings. It
might also be a little bit too loud.
That's also as I was going. So actually, can I get a perception check to see if you can pick up on these not so dulcet tones?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. That's a 6.
So no, you don't. Nah, great. Well, you two are doing lovely. So, you, I guess maybe are sleeping in longer. Are you, Julian, are you a morning person? How are you?
I think actually, I don't think Julian is sleeping. I think he's already left the castle, or not like, but like the castle, but left the sleeping wing, the corridor where his bedroom is, and has actually gone down to the library to do some reading.
Well, when you were leaving this morning, Misha Osterov, you opened your door and there is an attendant standing in front of it. Clearly having been waiting there for the first signs of you being up and awake, one hand behind their back, other hand held out, and a silver platter is sitting on this with a single scrolled note with a very familiar looking seal on it.
I take the note and I say thank you to the attendant.
Great. They say, "Of course, Your Majesty."
And I think Julian just kind of like closes the door very slowly.
And you will notice as you're closing the door that there is a similar attendant standing wait in front of Kaylin's room as well.
I think that makes me a little sweaty.
Do you open the note?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just wanted to check in.
I like close the door and then I open the note.
It gets me sweaty, but I go down to the library. I'll read her later. So you open it, and it is a formal invitation to breakfast from your mother.
I think Julian takes a second, thinks about it, scrawls a note on the back of this formal invitation that says, "I appreciate the invite, but I'm not feeling particularly up for company this morning. Can we do dinner instead?" Opens the door and hands it back to the attendant.
Okay, and then about half an hour later, Kaylin, you open the door because I think that the instrumentation gives away that you are awake. So someone knocks, and an attendant is there with the same note to give you. How do you react to this?
My first thought is, why the fuck do I need a formal invitation to breakfast from my mother?
Right.
That's honestly my first thought.
But you've never gotten anything but that. So.
So I guess let's see. I will begrudgingly go to breakfast.
You begrudgingly go to breakfast.
Yes.
All right. And so at breakfast time, where do you go, Misha? You go to the library still?
No, I'll probably stay in my room, huh?
Okay, then it is about 10 minutes until breakfast when a guard comes and knocks on your door.
The guard. Oh, God. All right, I open the door.
Good morning, Your Majesty.
Good morning.
It seems that your mother cares a fair deal to see you at breakfast. It would mean a lot to her.
Okay. Julian says, wait just one moment, closes the door, and puts on something that would be appropriate for a formal breakfast with the Queen.
Kaylin, do you put on clothes that would be formal breakfast appropriate for the Queen?
No.
Great. Perfect. So then I think, perfect. Well, then I think, Kaylin, you get to breakfast first. You are led. You actually aren't led. You go by yourself because you listen to your mom, who also happens to be the Queen. So you
imagine listening.
Brian doesn't, does she? So you head right down. The only person who would be more prompt than you is Zara. And actually, she is nowhere really to be seen. when you step into the dining room this morning. Actually, it seems to be you and your mom and you and your mom.
Great.
It's just the two of you.
Fantastic.
And she has led you, of course, to one of the main dining rooms of Kyrthys Castle. This beautiful dining hall, which is literally too extravagant for just two people. And yet you find yourself here. So you are brought in and you find her quietly sitting with stacks of paperwork here at the head of this table. Sometimes she will ask you to more quiet breakfasts, and you'll eat out in the gardens, and then it'll be a table that's like actually made for the amount of people that are eating at it, and it actually feels, I guess, somewhat close to a family affair. This is not that. She has not chosen that for your ambiance this morning. She is in this giant dining hall, just the two of you, and you are literally up on a proscenium, like you are about to speak to a crowd of like several hundred who have joined you at breakfast. So how do you greet your mother as you enter?
Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, dear. It is so lovely to see you on time.
Here I am.
Oh, if only you could do that more often. Go ahead, take a seat.
I will sit right there. And that's
Perfect. How did you enjoy the procession last night?
Lovely, as always. Where's everybody else?
Your sibling should be here shortly. But I just figured Zara's off speaking this morning at a class.
What
Because
class is she speaking at?
She's actually speaking to the first years over at Bayside. She's reading them children's books.
How lovely for her.
Do you have any extracurricular citizenship activities lined up?
No.
Oh, well, I can't believe that you are depriving Kyrthys of your presence.
Well, maybe I'll find my way down to the weeds later.
Do you want help setting up some appropriate events?
No, I think I can handle it. Yeah, I'm just going to go down there. I'm going to vibe, play some music. It's going to be a good time. It's a bunch of artists in the weeds. Like, we're just going to vibe.
You know what? And she rifles through a bit of her papers, and she says, I actually think that that's actually one of the best things that you could be doing with your time right now. I think you should go down there as yourself and remind the people of the weeds that we are not their enemies. We are just their friends.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm sure that I will do that.
And what better to convince them of that than the healing nature of music?
It's going to be a great vibe.
You good?
I'm just getting really intense flashbacks to the Josie and the Pussycats movie with the subliminal messaging and all of their singles.
I've never seen this movie, so you've completely
okay, well,
lost
we're
me.
adding that to the list.
Oh, God.
And I'm now picturing Queen Nakata as Parker Posey. So
I hope that's good.
it's great. It's a vibe.
So with that, you she looks at you like she's deciding whether or not she's gonna lay into you about like not taking it seriously. Luckily for you, this is interrupted by the entrance of your sibling,
Yes.
Misha Asirov, being escorted by a guard dressed impeccably for a morning breakfast. Are you moving your token in multiverse, or do you need me to?
I forgot how to play the D&D game. Hold on. Wait, do I need a Misha token?
Oh, yeah. I'll drop down a Misha token for you. I worked very hard on this while we were talking.
I will stop moving Julian then.
Oh, hold on. They're so tiny on accident. Let me make them the appropriate size. Perfect.
What if I picked up this portal?
Oh, that's too big. My bad. Here we go. Misha's short as hell. So probably just the same height as you, huh? Perfect. So Misha Misha's there. Come down an incredible breakfast finery, the perfect choice. Your mother looks you over, Misha, and says, well, I assume getting appropriately dressed is a perfectly good reason to be late this morning.
I think Julian as Misha just kind of smiles. And then like ducks their head and says, the invitation was so formal, I wanted to make sure that my dress matched the occasion. And then they're going to look at Kaylin and go and say, like, good morning. And they don't make eye contact with Kaylin. They just kind of, like, do that, like, I'm nodding in your general direction. Good morning.
Morning, Mish.
And I think Julian, like, screws up their face a little bit.
Yes, Misha, how did you enjoy the proceedings last night? Are you feeling better?
Yes, I apologize for my brief emotionality. I'm feeling fine.
Drunken emotionality.
Yes, well, I made a mistake and I promise that it won't happen again.
Wow. Thank you for admitting your wrongdoing. I appreciate that.
You didn't see me do that, but I think Misha Julian is Misha, just like nods once and then kind of keeps their eyes down on the table.
So, what have the two of you been up to?
Same story, different day. You know, making some music, doing my thing, hanging out.
Misha offers, I was going to spend today in the library. I wanted to see if I could learn anything additional about the weeds given, or not the weeds, the wilds given the excursions that are taking place in the Asirov name.
That's very thoughtful of you, Misha.
I mean, I'm going down to the wilds, and now you got me. I'm going down to the weeds. We're gonna vibe. If you would like to come and join our jam session.
Actually, the two of you, I've taken the liberty of rearranging your schedules a bit today.
Oh.
I know that the two of you used to love when I would send you on errands as children. Oh, you two loved to do it. You would
Oh,
always
that
get
wasn't. Sorry, that wasn't Misha. That was Sam. I'm sorry.
You would always get so excited to go on little adventures together, and I have another one of those set up for you today. I know you're not children anymore, but
And where would you have us go, Mother?
I think Julian is attempting to give Kaylin the most subtle look of panic that they possibly can. It's like it's all in the eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Caitlin, are you responding to this at all, or are you just like, don't look at me right now?
Just like, where are we going? What's happening?
Yeah. So your mother just continues to barrel straight through it. Goes, well, there should be a rather large amount of rain today, so make sure that you are dressed accordingly. But today I would like to ask the two of you to head to an address that I have written here on this piece of paper in the Market District, and I would like you to pick up a package for me.
A package.
Yes.
What kind of package, Mother?
Well, it's one that holds an Ossirov family relic in it, one that I wouldn't trust with anyone outside of the family.
Can I roll an insight check?
Go for it.
I would also like to roll an insight check.
Insight checks from both, please.
Oh, wait. Uh-oh. All my stats are on Julian.
Oh, that's fine. We'll live. I love to watch your cat attack Frodo.
Jojen, are you good, Bestie? She's trying so hard to climb on top of the computer, and it's just not going well for her at all.
It's really not.
I'm sorry, we're doing insight checks.
Yes, is I think that
Jojen,
you've now
why do you
killed
hate Frodo?
Jojen.
Okay, I got a 15.
Sorry. I'll have to help this geriatric cat.
Oh, God.
crawl.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. If I can't have this computer, no one can. Oh man. You had a lot of stuff that just got knocked down. I mean,
it's gonna take
the Frodo just got knocked down. High
Not
School
the
Musical
Frodo.
match just got knocked down. Like all of your most prized possessions just got knocked over.
She also ripped a keycap off of my keyboard.
Oh my God.
So sorry. Insight check.
Yeah, so insight checks from the two, please.
Roll. I don't even know what happened. Oh, it did roll for me.
Great.
Okay, so we'll do the first roll. I didn't realize that it did it twice. Whole 4.
Yeah, we'll do your best roll, which is also
a
conveniently
whole
your
5.
first roll.
Great.
No, your first roll was a 15, was it not? That I just saw?
What?
My roll was a 15.
Oh, you got it. Oh, so sorry, bud.
That's all right.
So sorry to see that. All right, so you are trying to like get a feeling for this, Kaylin. And yeah, no, this is absolutely one of those classic mom knows, like maybe like 16 more chapters of the story, and she's not even read to you the blurb on the back of the book.
Great.
Which is sometimes infuriating, but rather hard to get out of, as it turns out.
Yes. So, when do we have to go and pick this up?
Well, the appointment is in approximately 2 hours' time. It's just a simple drop-off. You'll be heading to the manufacturing district, as I said. And if the person who's doing the drop-off asks for any sort of reciprocal anything, you just hand them this envelope.
What's in the envelope, Mom?
Payment.
And who is
So
this
when you
person we're
say
going to meet?
Asura family relic, you mean family relic that we don't want anyone else to get a hold of because it would have implications.
Oh, not implications. Sweetheart, nothing's so dire. I don't want you to get concerned in that way, but, if it is something that belongs to our family and was taken by our family, it's best seen fit that it returns to our family.
And who was it taken by?
That's a great question. Once I get a hold of it, I hope to find out that answer.
Do we have any inclination of what this item might be? Oh, I guess Julian wouldn't. Julian absolutely doesn't. Taking myself out of that equation. Never mind.
Could I roll a history check to see if I might know something?
Yes, I think you could.
That's a 19.
A 19. Normally, when she walks you through this, she'll be very explicit about what you are going to get, what it looks like, when you need to be back by. This is a lot more like loosey-goosey from her in a way that probably weirds you out.
Okay. Okay, and who are we meeting with?
Just a citizen's informant, I believe.
Wonderful. That's so much information. Mother, usually you do provide a lot more information than this.
Well, you're of age, Kaylin. I think that you can accomplish your task with exactly the amount of information you need.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan, you two.
I think Julian looks at Kaylin for guidance here.
Yeah, let's go.
Great. Perfect. And until then, I did set you up to. Now we have some of the. Some of Kyrthys's more charitable citizens are out in the gardens actually pruning today, and we do have some photographers there. And I was hoping that you two would go put your best faces forward and do some community work before your appointment.
Julian is beginning to understand why Misha wanted to leave.
Yeah, all right, fine. But I'm going like this. I'm not changing.
You must.
No. I want to be comfortable. If I have to be out there, I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff, No, I'd like to be comfortable,
I'm sorry, is your wardrobe of outfits made to size for you not comfortable? Do you think the citizens of Kyrthys have a more comfortable wardrobe than you, Kaylin?
I think everybody should just be allowed to wear what they want to wear.
Right. And who wouldn't want for the clothes that you have?
Right, the clothes that I currently have on, that are nice and comfy.
Which are perfect for breakfast with your mother.
And all kinds of things,
Yes, like walking back to your room and changing.
Okay, Mother.
And Misha, you'll see that gets done, right?
Of course, Mother.
Thank you, Misha. I was so worried about you last night. I'm so happy to see that you're doing well this morning.
I'm sorry for causing so much concern. Like I said, I'm feeling much better.
Do you know what it was that ailed you so? Sorry, I was only hearing rumors about why this event had tried to transpire. The reason for your drinking was
Just a bit of missing. But I'm over it today.
And what were you missing, Misha?
I think Julian kind of pauses and takes a second and thinks about what Kaylin said last night about like Misha not giving away emotions, and says, "I misspoke, Mother. I'm so sorry. I meant to say just a bit of worry about the expeditions into Kyrthys. I hope that everyone is able to remain safe and return with the prophecy intact."
Sam, do you feel this is more a persuasion roll or a deception roll?
I think it would probably be more of a persuasion.
I'd agree with you. Can I go ahead and see that?
I imagine remembering that you have to use your sheet.
There you go.
Persuasion. Okay. That is going to be a 12.
You do get advantage because of your...
Right,
so
can I
can I
see
see the
roll
other
that
roll?
again? So persuasion. A 21.
Perfect.
Thanks for the advantage, Bestie.
There you go. Well, you should thank the Arcanic deck. She gives you a long once-over and says, I know that the decisions of a ruler can weigh heavy on the heart, Misha. And I'm proud of you. Because the way you're feeling about this means that you care about the people you may rule one day.
You know how much I care, Mother.
If only the rest of Kyrthys did. All right, you two get up and go. You've barely eaten.
I'm gonna take my plate with me.
Perfect. I love that. You just kind of pick it up. She obviously like returns to her stack of paperwork like you're clearly dismissed. What are you doing?
I think Julian just feels extremely stressed out by the entire dynamic that he just participated in. So I think he just kind of like does a little bow the way that he's been trained to do, and then goes to like leave the room with Kaylin.
Perfect. You guys head on out. Are you heading up to your living quarters to change?
I think Julian automatically heads towards the living quarters.
Yes, we'll go. I'll change.
Perfect. So you two start walking up towards the living quarters together. Are you speaking at all?
I think Julian, kind of under his breath, once. Can I do a perception check and see if there's anybody listening?
Please.
Okay.
I will also do a perception check.
Let's see it.
Where did my character go?
I've pulled them to the map. Did you not get pulled?
No, because I was controlling Misha.
Oh, because you were controlling Misha. Well, click this button. No, click that button. And then pan up. Right there.
Okay.
That's where you're going, bud. Travel alone.
Travel level alone. So sorry, besties. 1 moment, please. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna roll a perception check and see if anybody's listening, and then I'm gonna.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, thank God. I'm back in control of my boy.
I did get a 21. So
A 21.
On that
Perfect.
perception, hell yeah. Well, that's a natural 1.
Great.
love it.
I've never perceived anything. I don't get advantage on that check, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
So the only person you can kind of see on the walk down this wing, besides the guards who are like stationed in places that you can kind of lower your voices for, is there seems to be one guard on his break sitting in this like window balcony seat, almost like a reading nook seat. He's sitting there just going through a camera, like some sort of camera. But besides that one guard out of place, you know how to walk down this hallway without being heard, Kaylin.
Wonderful. So then I would take us on a path where I know we would not be heard.
Perfect.
I think Julian follows Kaylin and kind of once he feels as if they're safe enough, which I think is something that he would read in Kaylin's body language. He says, very quietly still, just like being cautious, he says, is that always how things are with Queen Nakata at breakfast?
Yeah, it's so lovely, right?
I'm beginning to understand why your sibling wanted so badly to leave this castle.
Yeah.
And is it often that she asks that you seek out and pick up strange objects with no real description of them?
No, usually if she sends us on a task, she gives us very specific instructions, especially me.
Because she thinks you'll fuck it up.
Yes.
By the way, which one of you took the envelope?
I think Julian took it because he was closest to
Julian
her.
has the envelope, and then who took the address?
I
Also-
guess I'll take, yeah.
Now you have the address. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know how that was arranged.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
I think Julian kind of holds up the envelope and says, how much is your mother bribing the citizens of Kyrthys?
Who knows? Why don't we open up? Let's take a look.
We can't just open an envelope from the Queen, Kaylin.
I mean, can't we?
I realized that by choosing to pursue the path that I have pursued in coordination with your sibling, Misha, that I am presenting a certain side of myself that I don't often present. However, I don't believe that it is in our best interest to open this envelope and see what's inside, because then whenever we have to present it to the receiver or to the recipient, then we will have to potentially deal with awkward questions and maybe even an attack.
I'm trying to see if I have any tiny spells that would mend an envelope.
Yes, the spell mending would do that. Yes.
Yeah, no, I don't.
If you
have
want,
that.
you could roll a sleight of hand check to try and open this envelope, seal undisturbed. But if you fail the check, you do risk breaking said seal.
I have thieves' tools that I use for my tinkering, but I probably wouldn't have those as Misha, would I? No. Okay.
All right, we'll leave the envelope as is.
Okay.
We'll go. I'll change. We'll head out.
Yeah, I think when Kaylin is changing, I think Julian actually waits outside in the hallway, just in case. And I think probably takes the envelope and tucks it like very carefully into a pocket so that it is safe and somewhere out of the way. And then I think has a long, intense moment of not even anxiety or panic, but just like like, what am I doing? Like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened kind of vibe. which I think for the last several days, or the last 2 weeks, because you said it's been nearly a fortnight, the last 2 weeks, Julian has just had these little like 5-minute bursts of like, oh God, what did I do? And so he's going through one of those while Kaylin is changing.
Yeah, I think I would just change into whatever I feel my mother would feel appropriate to be seen out in public in, and then return to Julian.
What are you wearing, Bestie?
I have put on a shirt because generally I don't wear them. And a like a
the himbo has entered the chat. Carry on.
So yeah, I'd say maybe, oh, you know what, we're gonna go fancy. It's a silk shirt. It's a silk shirt. It's like a navy blue silk shirt, and sleeves rolled up because they're generally too long for me anyway. And maybe some like white slacks, and then a cape of some sort.
A cape! Sorry. Yes! I love
This
a cape.
Miami Vice Royal Prince fucking moment. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh, perfect. All right. So you two emerged dressed in what your mother would consider appropriate being seen in public wear. Are you going to the function she has asked you to attend?
Yes. I think so.
I think once they sort of leave the castle proper, Julian probably turns to Kaylin and says, okay, do you remember exactly where she told us we needed to go?
I have no idea where she told us to go. I stopped listening during that part. I was hoping you would remember.
She gave you an address?
Oh, for that. Okay. No, I thought you meant the picture thing. No. Okay, here. Address. Got it.
Yeah, there are two separate events, to clarify. There is the picture-taking event in the courtyard in the gardens with some of the most charitable citizens of Kyrthys.
Stressed out about the other part.
And then the secret mission that she's asking you to go.
So in that case, I think Julian probably goes straight for the courtyard, just kind of assuming that they're going to follow the queen's directives.
Yeah, let's go. We'll take pictures real quick. I'm not trying to be out there for too long. So like, let's just go. We'll spend like 5 minutes taking pictures, and then we'll go to this like little address here and like figure out what the hell's going on.
Okay, that sounds like an excellent plan. And so they go over to take photos.
Perfect. All right. So you begin to head to the what if I all right, you know what, here's what we're gonna do. This is where we're gonna take our 5-minute break. Quick little 5-minute break.
Stick around for
we've got
the dice
giveaway. We've got the stuff to do, and then for no reason at all, I'm just gonna give you that 5 minutes to just take a look at the chaos bar.
God.
Because I got a thing I want to do, but I can't do it if we don't hit it. So consider, and I'll see you in 5. Chat.
I'm petrified.
Chat. That was the one chaos that I was like, I hope
I just realized this is the first time that Julian is on the other side of the chaos bar. This is like
How's
when
it
Nico
feel?
was on the other side for the first time. It's a vastly
I'm
different fucking experience.
stressed.
Yeah. Stressed, capital S, stressed. Them.
Stressed.
Welcome.
One day I'll be on the other side of a chaos bar. I don't know how. One day. All right.
We would have to completely change the functionality of that mechanic in order for that to happen, which I'm here for.
Yeah. Well, someone else would have to DM.
Sure.
One day. I'll step down from my forever DM boots eventually. We are going to pick back up momentarily, but first, Die Hard Dice! We love you. Thank you for sponsoring this season. We have dice to give one of you in the form of a sweet little gift card that you're going to take. You're going to walk right over to Die Hard Dice and you're going to get you some good freaking dice. Get you some good dice. So let's figure out who's going to get the dice, shall we? Sweet mods of mine.
Can we get a drum roll, Prince Kalen?
I don't know if you can hear that.
Yes! I can hear it.
Oh! Congratulations on your dice! We love to see it. And you got a drum roll. The only winner to ever get a drum roll
That's
is
true.
you.
Congratulations.
So congrats. You've really done that. Perfect. So, with that means we can dive back in. Do you guys have any character questions, changes, anything that you would like to do while you're on your way walking to the courtyard?
I actually have a quick above game question that does not matter at this exact moment, but it's something that I meant to ask before stream.
Now's the perfect time to do so.
So I know that obviously Julian and Misha's transformations or disguises, whatever you want to call them, are being powered by their individual halves of this arcanic deck card that they have split. Mm-hmm. I also know that when Misha went into the wilds, like left Terrapine and went into the wilds and met Aslan, which is the only way that I can remember to refer to the giant lion creature.
The Felidar.
Yes. The Felidar, also known as Aslan.
Legally distinct Aslan. You're
correct.
Right, honey.
I think we're out of copyright on that one.
Oh,
it's okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Its name is Mickey Mouse.
Its name is Winnie the Pooh, but not the one with the red shirt. Perfect. Anyway, they shed the Julian guys temporarily. So I want to know, can Julian do that?
Yes.
Without it fucking up Misha's guys. So if Julian chose to shed the Misha guys, Misha would also shed the Julian guys.
Yes, which is why it was a real bad idea when Misha did it.
Because it stripped Julian of that guys as well.
Yes.
Okay. Another quick above game question. Timeline-wise, Misha has not done that yet.
Incorrect. Misha has done that.
So Julian has been...
Do you want to talk about when that happened?
I would love to.
Perfect. It was actually, I would like to say, during your confrontation.
The first night? That wasn't that fast.
You confronted on the first night. Have you had any confrontations since?
With other people?
No, just with that person.
I mean, I'm sure they've had conversations. I don't know that they've had confrontations.
I would like to say that it was during one of those.
How long was Misha out of the Julian guys?
You were out of the guys for approximately 90 minutes.
Just long enough. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So, any other further questions before we hop back in? Anything that's happening on the way to the courtyard?
I don't have anything else unless Julian has something.
Nope. I'm good.
Then you all appear in the courtyard, and remind me, the current goal is to get in, just take some pictures, and immediately leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So then can I get perception checks as you guys roll in to see if you can find the photographer right quick, that kind of stuff?
Okay. Perception check. Where am I? I'm floating in a cloud.
You're floating in a... Oh, you're going to need to...
Yeah, I'm going to have to reboot
Your
multiverse.
game is sick.
But I have a 13 for the perception check.
13, good to know, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
19.
A 19. Yeah, Caitlin. You see the photographer pretty dang quick. You walk into this courtyard, you see a bunch of Kyrthys's most charitable, which is just a bunch of Arcane members hanging out. And then you see one particular man with a plan who seems to be running around taking pictures of everyone. If you would like to roll a history or a religion check to see if you know the name of this person at all, feel free to do so. Otherwise, this person can be a stranger to you.
I would like to roll the check because I think Julian would actually potentially recognize this person from descriptions given to them by Gideon during small rants that Gideon has had.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I am still rebooting Multiverse. So
you have to exit out of Multiverse in your task. Okay. That's usually how I get her to work again.
I got a 17.
And yes, chat, this is your chaos event. Thank you. 25.
That's a 25.
Yeah, you got a 25. All right, so 25 and a teen something, right?
19.
19. Yeah, so you both know this to be Chade Edelman. One of the most useful members and slightly most obnoxious teachers' pets of the Arcane, just in general. Running around, taking pictures of everybody, in everybody's business, turns around, sees you, goes, and just starts snapping away.
She goes, oh.
Yeah, Caitlin just kind of poses for the camera, tries to get some good pictures in, and is ready to roll.
Perfect. Yeah, you get some good pictures in.
Julian does not get any good photos, and I think because Julian is completely confused as to why this person's just started taking photos. I think he was expecting like a little staging area, like a little moment, maybe a horse.
A horse.
It is so good to see you guys out here for the beautification project.
Hello, Chade.
Wait. Above game question. Isn't Chade on a ship right now?
I think that's why this is our chaos.
Chade is on a ship right now.
Who's this?
Chade.
Who's that?
Could I?
My heart is pounding. I'm so stressed at the idea of multiple Chades.
Perhaps an insight or a what have you, because I would be very familiar with Chade and his Arcane photography, blah, blah.
Yeah, if you would just like to roll an overall insight check for throughout this conversation, you're more than free to. You as well.
I don't know that Julian would
suspect anything.
No. I, Sam, am terrified. Julian has no idea.
Oh. I mean, glad I have those modifiers, but that's still a nat one. 11.
An 11. Woof. Yes, that's Chade. That's Chade right there. You've never been more sure of anything. That's a Chade. So Chade goes, "It is so nice to see you here for the beautification project. I mean, your highnesses, can I like entreat you to maybe like pose in front of a bush?"
I think Julian just kind of goes, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Chade puts you in front of this beautiful floral bush, and just kind of sets the camera up and says, "Well, How are you two feeling?
Fine.
Great. Why do you ask?
Oh, just like knowing that you have like people like off Kyrthys like doing things in your name. How's that feeling?
It's a heavy burden, but one we must bear.
Yes.
Misha, how are you going to feel if Kaylin's team returns successful? Misha?
I'm so sorry. One quick second.
You're good.
What did you ask me? I'm so sorry.
I asked if how you would take Kaylin's team coming back successful.
I would support my brother completely in becoming the next ruler of Kyrthys. I believe that both of my siblings are more than capable of leading the city into its next era.
And what about you?
Very much the same. But how many other pictures do we need to take?
Oh, sorry. I just go for usual like small talk as I'm setting up the camera. All right. Well, pose you two.
Julian does like a little hands on hips, little like not like a model pose, but like a little like I'm a royal. I did it. With
Perfect.
like a very like serious expression.
Perfect. And what kind of pose are you striking, Kaylin? Just
Oh, I was muted. No, I'm just gonna throw up a peace sign and.
Oh, great, perfect, very Kaylin of you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's great. I think afterwards, Jade looks at the picture and goes, wonderful. Thanks you two, and thanks for coming out here for the beautification project. And I'm just like, as a citizen, I'm just really excited to see who's going to end up with the crown at the end of all of this. Best of luck to everybody.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Jade.
You two are, Jade bows, so welcome. You two are so welcome. And then there is a voice behind Jade that goes, hey, Vilchis over there found a rare kind of bug that like desperately needs your attention, Jade. So if you could maybe go take a photo of that or two. She goes, oh, really? I hope it's not one of those pill bugs. And races off. And that leaves you just standing in front of, honestly, maybe a familiar face to Kaylin. I think that maybe you two move around in very similar social circles. None other than Corvin Barrick, law mage extraordinaire.
Corvin!
Comes to stand in front of the two of you and says, hey, you two, nice to... Does the kind of like informal bow, like recognizing that it's what's custom, but that Corvin very much kind of still considers himself a peer to you.
What's happening over there?
I accidentally kicked over my footrest, and I'm trying to put it back together with my little feet.
Okay, continue.
All right. And so Corbin says, it's actually, wow, it's so convenient to see you two there. Misha, do you mind if I just pull your ear on something?
No, not at all.
Cool, so then can we just...
Is there a reason why what you have to say can't be said in front of my brother?
Yeah, it can. It can. It's just about your team, and so I don't know how you all are handling that.
I think Julian has a moment of like stress that I think Kaylin would recognize, but I don't think that Corbin would. And I think he just kind of like, as Misha like straightens his shoulders and says, "No, please, by all means, you're welcome to speak freely in front of us."
All right. And Corvin takes a few steps, gets closer.
Scampy, don't you dare.
Scampy? Our cats are so feral. Says, Simpax is should be working down there, right?
Misha says not necessarily. It would depend on where they are in the wilds and whether or not there's any actual service. If there's someone that's iron encased, then they wouldn't work.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess my have you heard from Gideon at all, or Current?
I have not heard from either Gideon or Current since they left these shores. No. Is there a reason why you're concerned, Corbin?
Because I've been sending them messages upon messages upon messages, even from the first few hours that they left, and I haven't gotten a single response yet.
Are these messages timely? Are they related to the mission?
I mean, I was trying to offer my help. I was trying to message them and see, if there's anything I can do from here. I want to make sure that they all get back all right, and I haven't heard anything. So I just wanted to know if you knew anything about that.
Is there a reason why, if you wanted to help so badly, you didn't simply volunteer to be on the crew with the ship?
I'm too pretty.
We all have our crosses to bear, I suppose.
Yeah. So have you not?
No, I haven't heard from them.
Promise? You're not just keeping royal secrets, right?
If I were, would it be any of your business?
I guess not, Misha.
It's your majesty, Corbin.
Corbin looks at Kaylin. And I have a question to ask you at this point, Kaylin. Have you and Corbin ever hooked up?
Oh. Was not a question I was expecting to have to answer. Once.
Perfect.
But it was not a great experience. I would not do it again.
Corbin throws you a look, Kaylin, that says, "Are you really not going to do anything about this?"
I'm just drumming in the air, drumming away. Completely just not even looking at him.
All right, Your Majesty, I ask that you inform me if you hear any updates from my friends who are currently risking their lives for you.
I'll ask the same.
Is that as a friend or as my ruler?
I'll let you make that interpretation yourself.
Your Majesties. And Corbin ducks his head and stomps away.
All right, so shall we?
Kaylin. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Mm-mm.
I was just gonna say, should we check out this address?
Yes, I think so. Was that Julian leans in real close so he can like kind of whisper into Kaylin's ear and says, was that in character?
What are you asking me?
The Your Majesty comment, the way that I just spoke to Corbin, was that Misha enough?
I should know this, shouldn't I? KM? I don't know. Would I know this?
Yeah, I think
I mean, I
that
should know this.
yeah, I think that maybe maybe this performance was a bit more asshole than sullen. Maybe we did a bad job on that sort of line. And Misha has never pulled rank on someone before.
Okay. So I would say that to Julian.
I think Julian just kind of nods and goes, okay. There was just a certain vibe there that I didn't appreciate. So that may have been why I reacted that way.
Yeah, you know, I understand that, but there is no vibe. So
No vibe?
no vibe.
Do you want
There's
do you want a deception check there? Do you want a deception insight, or are we just letting that happen? Your call.
I think we should.
All right, so a deception from Kaylin and an insight from Julian.
Okay.
Who won?
That was brutal. Kaylin rolled a 16 and I rolled a 14. We both had the same base roll, but he had a higher modifier.
Yeah, so no vibes.
No vibes. All right.
No vibe.
Julian accepts there is no vibe. Yes, we should go check out this address.
All right, let's go.
All right, so the two of you head off toward the manufacturing district. You walking?
How far is the manufacturing district from the castle?
30-minute walk.
30-minute or 30-mile?
30-minute.
Oh my god, I heard 30-mile and I was like, Betsy, how is Kyrthys that big?
No.
I think Julian would be fine with walking.
Yeah, you can walk.
Perfect. So you are all walking along, doing your freaking best. Is it silent, or is there a game plan? Are you doing anything?
How often have you been going into the weeds prior to this excursion? I feel as though you haven't reached out to me about it in a while. Am I just no longer invited?
Oh, you're always invited. You have a standing invitation.
Does that mean you have a regular appearance there?
You know, I like to just go vibe in the weeds every now and then. You know, all the artist district. You know, I get to jam. Use my creativity for good.
Yes, I know, and I think there's like a hint of a tiny smile on Julian's face. And then he says, but if you're choosing simply to go vibe of your own volition, how am I to know that I'm invited if I don't even know that you're going?
Well, I will be sure to let you know when I go.
For the time being, that might not be best, considering. And then Julian kind of like gestures.
Well, I know some people in the weeds, and I know some safe places.
Julian just kind of nods and says, I mean, I have no doubt that Misha and Kaylin Osorov would be safe as anything walking through any part of Kyrthys, considering how beloved they both are.
Indeed.
But perhaps inviting your sibling to jam with you in the weeds is not quite the same as inviting some random scholar of the Arcane.
This is true. I mean, we did have that time alone for 90 minutes when things kind of took a turn.
We did, and I still have not figured out what it is that the other one did to cause that to happen, because I had my end of the bargain completely sealed.
Have you messaged them?
I've tried. There's a reason I asked Corvin if he had heard anything. Don't get me wrong, Kaylin, it was a lovely night, but I do feel there is a difference between spending time together when I have somehow managed to magically strip away the guise of your sibling and spending time together when I'm stuck in this body for who knows how long.
A moment. You two are walking through the streets as the castle turns to the mercantile district. These nice marble stones turning to shoddier.
Can I cast scrying to try and see, like, where Misha might be, or like if they would be in a safe place?
Do you have scrying?
I do.
He made sure to specifically add it to his spell list.
Then let us scry.
Fantastic.
So here's the thing. So scrying is an involved process. The thing about this is that it's a casting time of 10 minutes. So you're going to have to be focused on the spell for 10 minutes. And a royal family member stopping in the middle of the street to do magic might incur some visibility. If you would like to take that on, that is your right. But it's 10 minutes to cast, and of course you have a focus worth at least 1,000 gold pieces because you are the crown. So,
is there a inconspicuous coffee shop, bookstore, or something of the like on the way to where we are going, where I might be able to stop for these 10 minutes and be less inconspicuous? Or more inconspicuous?
Yes,
Whatever the word is.
there is.
Wonderful.
You stop. You are looking around for a place to drop in and hide, and you see that there is a bookseller who runs a small bookshop that Gideon bought her illicit books from, that Julian would know is a relatively safe place to go. Because I believe Julian knows about this place as well. So I think I'm finding the name of it. It will be a moment. Imagine taking organized notes. But you know that bookshop is a pretty safe place for you to disappear into.
Great. So then, we go.
Nope, that's Karina's friend. That's not who owns the. Megabeth owns the magic shop. You're looking for the bookstore. Imagine remembering anything. Yeah. So let's just. I'll know it in a second. I'm gonna send someone to help me on that. So yeah, you find the bookstore. You manage to sneak into it, and I think Yana Gammon. Yes. Yana Gammon. Yes. Yana Gammon. Yes. All right. I've got notes. She owns this bookstore. I don't remember if I named it though. That's why I'm panicking. Damn. Okay. I don't know the name. All right, but it's Yana's shop. It's called Yana's shop. Here we go. As you guys manage to sneak inside, I think just like you can't really be like, it's Julian, let me into the back, because that certainly wouldn't work. But you guys managed to get in and find a relatively unoccupied corner for which to cast your spell. So you are going to try and cast a scrying spell. So I'm going to make a wisdom saving throw. Tell me specifically who you're trying to look
at. Misha, like real Misha.
Misha Asaroff, perfect. And you have, the target well, so I'm going to get -5 to my roll. And then do you have a body part, lock of hair, blade of nail, or the like of Misha Asarov's, or a possession or a picture?
I would say I would at least have a picture, yeah.
Okay, so with a picture, you're going to get another -2. So that's going to be a total of a -7 to my roll. For no reason at all, would you go ahead and roll that for me? A wisdom saving throw.
Sorry, I have to go back to Julian's character sheet. 1 second. A 15.
A 15. So that's going to be -5, -7. So that's going to take you way down below 10, which is going to pass your spell check. You attempt to scry Kaylin, and I would like you to roll a Arcana check. You were looking to beat a 15.
Kaylin, did you say what you were doing before we went to do this? Like, did you tell Julian that you were doing this?
Yes.
Okay. I think the whole time that this is happening, Julian's kind of not annoyed, like kind of just like seems impatient.
Oh God. Why an Arcana check when my intelligence is at a 9? Oh God. Okay.
I love a himbo.
Oh my God. That would be a nat 20 -1, so that's a 19.
20. All right. So
Wait. Is that your first nat 20?
Yes.
Ever?
Well, I don't know. No, not ever.
But at least here.
But here. Yes.
Yay!
it's so sad that your natural 20 was like with a -1.
It's really a 19, yes.
Yeah. So congrats. So I think like you are trying to hone in on this scry spell. And for a second, you are so confused because you close your eyes and you attempt to see through the magic. And it just feels like you're looking at yourself. You're just like a little bit out of your body. maybe like 5 feet away from you, looking at you.
Because for all intents and purposes, I am Misha. I hate this.
And you come back and you are able to surmise accurately that this is only permitted you to see through, that whatever this arcane card has done, it has altered magic itself to recognize Julian as Misha. Which
so even if my intention was to say like it was real Misha, but the card says no, this is real Misha. Wow. Okay.
How will we ever find out who real Chade is at this rate?
God, honestly.
How does Caitlin react to this?
Disappointed. Because he really wanted to see, I mean, just number one, if Misha's okay. But also, he also wants to be able to have some time alone with Julian, not as Misha. So, like,
That's weird.
I just, you know?
That's so funny. That's so funny. Oh my God. But yeah, so now it kind of makes a little bit more sense why Julian is managing to get past the incredibly advanced magical rooms that are supposedly guarding the living quarters. The use of this arcanic deck card seems to be altering reality itself in a way that magic is also interpreting it as reality.
I think after the scrying is over, Julian kind of like is like tapping his foot a little bit and he goes, "Were you successful?"
Well, that depends on how you want to define successful. Technically, yes. However, this arcanic deck card that you have used is so powerful that although I intended to see where my sibling is, the magic is so powerful that it just shows me you. So I have no idea where Misha is and would have no idea if they are in a safe place for you to...
Well,
yeah.
If it helps, insofar as I'm able to understand it, which admittedly the arcanic deck is a little bit beyond the scope of my abilities. But as far as Misha believed, as far as I'm aware, the magic ends when one of us dies. So we can at least assume that Misha is alive. Safe is another matter altogether. But perhaps next time you decide to do this, you'll remember that you have to look for Julian.
Yes, well,
Not me.
hopefully I will do that soon.
Do you guys continue on to your location?
Yeah.
Perfect. Is anything happening on the remainder of the block?
I think that's the most eventful thing.
Okay. I know that you guys were talking during break, like, man, I wish I opened that envelope. So this is Lizzie, your last fucking shot, besties. No.
Not the envelope.
We don't care about the envelope.
Okay, then we proceed as normal. Everything's fine. All right, so you eventually get to the misty, intimidating presence of the manufacturing district. What some people call home, royals might call spooky because they're not used to it. This is a little dingier part of Kyrthys. It's where all the machinery for Figlass Industries is made. Soot is covering everything. It's being cleaned up as best as it can, but there's just overall just sort of smog centered in this area.
So it's Los Angeles.
Yes. Los Angeles. I'm more like thinking about like the industrial side of towns that like always smell bad a little.
Yeah, it's Los Angeles.
Okay. I don't want to get involved in LA beef. I will not do it. So we so you sort of head in here, and can I just get a perception check for the both of you for like no reason at all?
A dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Oh, nat 20. It's 26.
Damn, Julian!
All right. Both of you, as you approach this feeling, just kind of have this overarching feeling of maybe eyes on you. You're not sure where, but there's just a little bit of that extra prickling at your back. It's telling you to keep your guard up. But the two of you approach this district, and you know that the address you've been sent to is just up the stairs a little.
Julian looks at Kaylin and says, "Does Her Majesty the Queen often send you on missions to some of the scariest places in Kyrthys?"
Does she, KM? Or does she normally send us to?
She sent you to go get like bread.
Bread.
Paperwork.
Bread.
No. Normally we go to just very mundane areas.
Well, I'm sure that this will be very mundane indeed. Let's go.
Feel free to move your little tokens.
Okay. You said up the stairs?
Yep.
Is there any other? Could I do? Wait, what did we do? Did we do perception? Is that what we did?
Yep.
Oh God. Oh no.
This snaky little fuck!
Hey, are you guys who I'm supposed to be meeting?
Did we get this person's name from the Queen? I don't recall. No? Okay. Misha says, I'm starting angry and brine. Okay, Misha says, or Julian, as Misha says, I suppose we are. You're here for the delivery?
That's me.
Okay. And she said that the envelope was just for basically like...
Where is he?
Who?
Do you not have something for me?
He. Julian turns and looks at Kaylin.
I mean, you might as well say it out loud.
My thought? Is it an arcanic deck card with somebody trapped in it that's inside the envelope?
Oh, fuck. You haven't looked in the envelope, have you?
God, fucking damn it.
I think Julian says again, what do you mean he?
I was told you would have some sort of equivalent exchange for me. Am I misunderstanding?
What are you giving us?
I'm giving you this. Opens his jacket, and there is a almost eyeshadow palette shaped metal block. But I need something from you too. That was the agreement.
Okay, so I have things.
Thanks.
I
Yeah.
have things.
I hate this. I just want to throw that out there. I hate every part of this.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking because I just really don't know what I'm doing here. So, I'm a College of Glamour bard.
Yes.
So I have the option to do Enthralling Performance, Mantle of Majesty, which if I did Mantle of Majesty, then I could cast Command without expending a spell slot. And any creature charmed by me would automatically fail its saving throw against the command that you cast with this feature.
This is true. If you charm someone first. What are you seeking to do to this person right now?
I am seeking to make him so charmed by me that he's just going to give me this card. And I'm going to try to give him something else that he thinks, like... Or maybe, yeah. That's my...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the goal. And what are you seeking to do this with?
Whoa.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I was looking at your spells, which is why I just...
What?
You can obviously detect thoughts to see if you can get in on the thoughts of this person, understand what's happening a bit more.
Okay.
You can always try to do that. I think what you've been looking, the Mantle of Majesty, College of Glamour, I think that's great.
So yeah, let's go with Mantle of Majesty.
Okay. So at 6th level, you gain the ability to cloak yourself in a fey magic that makes others want to serve you. As a bonus action, you can cast Command without expending a spell slot, and you take on an appearance of an unearthly beauty for 1 minute or until your concentration ends. During this, you can cast Command as a bonus action on each of your turns without expending a spell slot. So this creature is not currently charmed by you, but that doesn't matter because you're still casting the spell Command. But before you do this, I think you'll want to wait for the right time because the spell Command, just to have everyone, even chat, know what Command does. It is a 1-word command to a creature you can see within range. Okay. So you can get real smart with that 1 word: drop, grovel, flee, halt, pray, jump, die doesn't work.
Freeze.
But freeze is a great one.
Okay.
Just can't make them hurt themselves or die.
Yep, can't make them hurt themselves, can't make them die. Or else why would Dungeons and Dragons be fun?
Right.
So those are the so you just need to know to save it for the one moment that like the yes, like the 1-word command needs to happen.
Okay. But he's already shown us where he's keeping the card, yes?
He has, yeah.
Okay. So, so then I would just, at that moment, I would just tell him to freeze.
We're going to go right now. We're going to do it right now. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, See, now you're making me think.
Hey, I'll always ask before we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so I will now make a wisdom saving throw. This man does not have a super high wisdom. And I am endeavoring to beat your smell I said your smell modifier, and that's embarrassing. Your spell modifier, your spell save DC, which is going to be a 15. So I am looking to get above a 15 here with very not great odds. Let's see it. That's a 20. So, you say, actually, let me double check and see if I know that this has happened. If the spell, I can't tell if the creature knows that it's happened to you. If it fails, so I'm going to artistically interpret it. Yeah, at that point, Harry sticks his hands up and goes, I'll freaking freeze, but I think we're friends here. Don't want to, get off on the wrong foot with the important ones, though. I thought this was a simple deal, guys. Come on, what's up?
I didn't mean to do that. Ignore that. I think Julian, out of just like a general respect for rules and like fairness, probably goes to reach for the envelope that he has tucked away.
Caitlin, are you interfering at all?
Yes, I would say no. Let's just talk here. If we're friends, we can talk, right?
Julian stops reaching for the envelope.
What are you trying to talk about? What you looking for?
Other things on my spell sheet. Okay. And how much does this weigh? Like the deck card. How much does it weigh?
Less than 10 pounds. Probably closer to 3 or 4.
Okay. So then I will try using Mage Hand.
I was going to do that. I had the same thought. Nice.
So it says a spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose within range. The hand lasts for the duration or until you dismiss it as an action. The hand vanishes if it's ever more than 30 feet away from you, or if you cast the spell again. You can use your action to control the hand. Use the hand to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, pour the contents out of a vial. You can move the hand up to 30 feet each time you use it. The hand can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds.
What does Caitlin's hand look like? What is it? Is it invisible? Does it have a panache to it? What does your hand look like?
I'm getting like Rockstar glove vibes.
Oh,
Nice.
Perfect. Just a bejeweled moment of
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, this hand shoots out lightning quick and just dives right into the the breast pocket of Harry's jacket. He goes, oh my god! And
Can I also cast Mage Hand to put it over his mouth?
oh my god. This card gets levitated into the air. And Kaylin, you with your perception was an incredible roll, which is why you see this and have moments to act if so you choose. This card is lifted aloft in the air, just tall enough so that it's just a few spectral inches above this incredibly wide-brimmed hat. And held aloft with the curve, almost like the hat's brim, a scythe. She has pulled it back, and she is about to slice Harry's head clean off. Unless you, Kaelin Osirov, can do something. But what that something is, we'll have to wait to find out next week. This is where we're ending part 1 of our one-shot!
Oh my god.
What a brilliant introduction. Thank you two so much.
Oh my god.
Lovely time that was.
Thank you. Yeah, this has been so much fun.
Oh my gosh, I had the bestest time. Thank you all for taking a trip to Kyrthys with me. We're going to be in the same place, same time next week. But until then, you should keep up with my two lovely players who I've had tonight. Thank you for joining me on a little intimate table. I love an intimate. Perfect. And I forgot that I was a person who should maybe talk about themselves. I'm Katie May. I've been your Dungeon Master for this evening. You've already found me. You're here on my channel. But if you want to keep up with us throughout the week, I love to lurk in the Discord. The Death2Divinity Discord is one of my favorite places to be. And I think I've given you some things to talk about. So enjoy talking about said things.
I also just posted a Kaelin and Julian mix in the music room in the Discord. So.
Oh, and now we've got a Kaelin Julian playlist for you to cry over. Wow! Only on our Discord, folks. Don't miss it. We're going to be back here at the same time next week to give away some more dice and find out if Kaelin can stop a murder from happening in front of his very eyes. Until then, Godslayers, so scared. Stay slaying. I'll see you next time.
Bye!